Sure, I can talk a little bit about being signed and what that's like to be on a label. You know, back when I was in the Zeros, we got signed to Enigma Records, which was part of Capitol, so it was a major label deal. Eventually, we got moved over to one of their subsidiaries, which was Restless Records. That was more of an indie deal. You know, we were on a label with like Social Distortion, Agent Orange, They Might Be Giants, you know, those types of bands. And the Zeros, you know, we were kind of like a glam pop rock, power pop band. For us, we wanted to be on a big label. You know, we thought we were like Queen or the Beatles. You know, we had the four guys like Kiss. We thought we deserved to be on a bigger label, but, you know, labels were taking a chance with a band like us. You know, we were not a guaranteed thing. I've done license deals with some smaller labels, with Hutch. I've licensed a few songs as Joe Normal. Those labels are Smile Records, also Big Stir Records. Way back, we had a deal going with Atlantic Records. Jason Flom, who would go on to be Lava Records, wanted to sign the 000s, and he put us in a recording studio and we made some demos and stuff, but ultimately we did not get the deal. You know, being on a label is not the be-all, end-all, you know, it's just like another level. You work to get to that level, and then you're at the bottom of the chain, and then you got to build up through that whole system too, you know, where we struggled for a long time to get signed. Once we did get our label, it's like we had to prove ourselves. Here we thought we were going to be on the same label as Capitol, Enigma, which was like the Smithereens, Poison. They had a few other big bands like that too. We ended up getting bumped down, kind of demoted to Restless Records, which was a type of independent label. Well, we wanted to be up there with Poison, you know. You know, and times change, you know, those kind of record deals I don't think exist anymore, especially for people in my age bracket. You know, once you're over 30 and 40, forget it. You know, you're indie all the way. For an artist like me, the best thing is to record your own music and then find a label that wants to license it, and we'll put it out and distribute it and do the publicity and the promotion. But even still, it's hard to get labels to do that if you don't have a track record. The Zeros records now are on Warner Brothers, and Warner's wanted to do something with us, but we just can't work out our differences among the band. And for me, there's no interest in doing that because I don't own any of the songs that were released by the Zeros. So there's no reason for me to go out there promoting that stuff because I'm not getting paid when we promote the songs. So what's the point? And for the longest time, the songs weren't even available on streaming. The very first deal that we ever signed was with a small New Jersey label called Fred's Records, and they wanted to put out a single. They put us in their home recording studio. We recorded 2 songs. They thought they could get it on the radio down in Philadelphia and New Jersey, and it just kind of, we had high hopes and big dreams. We were young kids. I think I was 18 or 19 years old. That never panned out into anything. The next deal that we got was in 1984 on the heels of the big Howard Stern thing that we had going on. Atlantic Records took some interest in us. He put us in a recording studio. I think it might have been the record plant in New York City. We recorded 4 or 5 songs, and ultimately the label passed on us. So we had a few songs that we could use to put out there on our own, and one of the songs called Show Me ended up on a vinyl EP that we did through our friend's small indie label called Mountain Records in New Jersey. So, like, you know, if you're thinking you're going to get signed to like a big label and everything is just going to kind of be rosy, you know, it doesn't really work like that. The best opportunity that we could have is to record the albums ourselves and then license them to a smaller label, independent label. But then again, it's like, you may as well just put it out yourself and hire a promotion team to do it, because that's basically what a label's going to do. They've got a promotion department, they've got radio people, and you know, if you're out there and you're networking and you got a lot of motivation, you could do those things yourself. You know, if you got a little bit of a fund to kind of help support those things, that'll help you get ahead. So basically, I've got stuff out on a major label, and I'm still out here doing my own thing. I started my own label, New Jersey Phonograph. I basically do everything myself. I write, record, perform, produce, manufacture, release, promote. I do everything except for touring these days. I don't mind doing some if the right thing comes along. So if you're looking to be on a label, I would suggest just doing it yourself. You know, don't wait. Don't wait for somebody to discover you. Just get your thing going. Do it yourself. Do as much as you can on your own. If you can, get friends to help you. Do some networking. Even if you can just hire somebody for a couple hours a week, just to help you. Maybe there's somebody who wants to intern that wants to learn the business, and they can help you do packaging and emails and socials and help you at your shows. And there's people out there that want to learn how to do it. But if you can get yourself to a certain level, then you can get the interest of smaller labels and endorsements and all that kind of thing. So I wish you all the greatest of success.